Salvete Christi Amistad Tesoros. So, you guys thought I was joking about government, right? We're really learning government because I kind of need to study. I have a test, which is like next Wednesday, when I go to government class. So, yeah, I have to study. So, if you're in ninth grade, if you live in Georgia, if you don't live in Georgia, well, too bad. Damn, that's kind of messed up. But I mean, if you live in Georgia, your standard's kind of similar to mine. And yeah, we're learning government right now. So yeah, I'm gonna teach you about the government. Maybe you need some extra help, need some notes or something. So I'll be there to teach you. You can watch these videos, instructional stuff. Anyway, let's get to it. The types of government. All right. So man, I don't know what's up with this computer. All right. So you have your types of government. You have confederal, federal. Then you have unitary. Then you have autocratic, oligarchy, presidential, and democratic. All right, so let's go over the first one. Federal government. So basically, federal government is just confederate and unitary put together. They're like combined. It's pretty much what it is. Federal government, you see the nation and the state, they share power. So no one's really above anybody. They share the same power. The national and the local government, they both create laws for the country and for the citizens in the federal government. So what would be a good example of the federal government? Well, the country we're in right now, United States of America. That's a pretty good example of the federal government. That's the federal government we have. That's part of the government we share is the federal government. Now let's look at confederal. 'Cause I feel like people get confused because they sound the same. Let's just look at confederal. Okay, so pretty much confederal government is when the local government, like the state or city, they share all the power. Like they have more power than the actual country itself. Confederal government is pretty much the opposite of unitary government. You see, in a confederal government, the national power is weak and the state power or the local power is stronger. You see, the state has more power than like I said, the actual country itself. That's basically what it is. A good example of confederal for a country, confederal government, would be CSA, or Confederate States of America. You remember during World War, no, not the Civil War, the South, the Confederate States of America, they had that country, the Confederal type country, the Confederal type government. That's the government they had. So, what about an autocratic government? Okay, so autocratic. If you see the word autocratic, it has auto meaning one, right? Or auto mean one? Or like one I don't know, but you see that, yeah, auto, right? So it's one person. An autocratic government, all the power is in one man, which is that's kind of ooh. I don't think a person should deserve that power, but yeah, it's in one man, right? An autocratic government, there's no power shared with local. I mean, not usually. I don't think so, but yeah, autocratic government, there is none shared. It's only in one person. A good example of autocracy or autocratic government would be most likely North Korea, or you could say Germany when Hitler was in charge. But yeah, North Korea today would be a good example because he's the supreme leader of, you know, Kim Jong Un. He's the supreme leader of Korea. So that would be a good example. All right, so let's discuss unitary. So in a unitary government, the central government or national government holds the most power, while the local and state governments they pretty much have no power. They kind of weaken. Like I said, it's the opposite of confederal and unitary. The entire country, the nation has the most power. A really good example of a unitary government would be probably be England, uh, or United Kingdom, because that they have a unitary type government. There's also parliamentary as well, but we'll get into what parliamentary is. But yeah, um, but England would be a very good example of unitary government. So what about a presidential government? Well, let's talk about presidential. In a presidential government, you have your two branches. You have the legislative and executive. All right. So there are two separate branches. All right. Yeah. Okay. So there's two separate branches. Legislative, executive. They're different, right? But they have the same power. They share both the same power. So the legislative or executive are at the same level. They're not over, you know. And the leader of the executive branch is the president. A very good example of presidential government would be, like I said, our country, United States of America. Who's our president right now? Barack Obama. And we're going to have a new president coming November. We'll discuss politics. I mean, if you kind of know it. If I was 18, well, if I were 18, my bad, if I were 18, I would not vote for Trump. I'm sorry, I can't. I wouldn't. Because, like I said, it's impossible to build a wall that, well, anyway, yeah. So, in a presidential government, the president is the leader of the executive branch. Now, let's talk about parliamentary government. Okay, so in the parliamentary, you know how I said in presidential, the legislative and executive, there are two separate branches? Well, the parliamentary, the legislative and executive, they're kind of the same. They're like, yeah, they're pretty much the same, but they're in the same group. Like, executive branch is a part of the legislative branch, you see? So they're kind of into it together instead of being separate. That's how parliamentary government works. The leader of a parliamentary, well, the leader of the executive branch of the parliamentary would be called the prime minister. A very good example of a parliamentary government will be possibly, yes, would be the United Kingdom because they have the prime ministers and stuff over there. Even though the king is, well, there's no king, but the queen, Queen Elizabeth, she has no power in England, but really it's a unitary government, constitutional monarchy, whatever, something like that. So yeah, the United Kingdom would be a very good example of, um, yeah, parliamentary government. So what about an oligarchy? What is oligarchy government? Basically, oligarchy government is where you have multiple people running a country. Like a good example of that would be South Africa during the apartheid era. What did I say period? The apartheid era. The group that's running the country could either be like a political party or some type of family or hair. I don't know how you pronounce it. So it could be multiple things for an oligarchy. But usually they're mostly known because they have a group and they rule a country. So yeah. So our final form of government is democratic. Basically, in democratic government, the power lies with the citizens of the country, the people, right? In a democratic government, the people they have the voice to act, upon the national law. Well, basically, everyone has a voice and has a say in the government. That be national, state, local, they all have a say in the government, the people in a democratic type government. Now, as for democratic, you have your two types. You have representative democracy and you have your direct democracy. Direct democracy is different from representative. Direct, the people act directly on the laws and the changes inside the government. They actually go out there and they change it. While the representative, you usually would elect officials to go represent you. Like you elect a president or some type of senator to, represent the people. Like I said, the indirect is different, that people actually do it themselves. A good example for a representative democracy is our country, the United States of America, because we elect the president and we elect certain senators, and we do that for like the city I live in, Covington. We do that in Atlanta and stuff, and the entire state we elect the governors, certain things like that. I'm not sure. I think for Greece has a direct democracy. I'm not sure though. But I think Greece, yeah, would be an example of direct democracy. Well, that's all. I explained the types of government. I know there's like no Bible stuff today. Look, like there is no Bible stuff today. Like we couldn't. I mean, I had to like study, but I thought I'd share some of my knowledge with you if you needed help for whatever quiz you may have. But yeah, we couldn't do anything out the Bible. Sorry, I don't know when we'll be able to. Really, I want to, especially that Egyptian stuff I was talking about. The Horus and Jesus. Yeah, I really want to, but I thought today I'd share some of my knowledge about what I've learned in school. You know, if you need help with any type of thing, you know, I'm here. I'll make videos if you need help in school. So, anyway, Fox at the more. Valente.